Hello everyone, welcome back to the number one trusted name in technology in history. Now, the other day, I think like 4 days ago, I did I wasn't even a small one, it was a pretty big comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 7 Plus. And I noticed that, I'm not going to lie, the iPhone 7 Plus, isn't the fastest device in the world, but I think when you're going to upgrade to a new device, that new device should be faster and better in every single way than the older ones, okay? And even if the older devices are faster a couple times, if it's once, that's okay. But if it's like multiple times, I think it's worth noting in my opinion. Now, when I did that comparison, actually let's rewind a little bit, okay? I think about like a year ago or maybe even a couple months ago, I did comparisons between like my iPhone 6s Plus and some other iPhones, I think back on iOS 12, and I think I did some on iOS 13 as well. And I noticed that, dude, the iPhone 6s or the 6s Plus and some other phones and iPod, even the iPod 7 generation, those phones and iPods and everything were faster than some of the newer iPhones. And I think that's a really crazy thing, when you're going to go and, buy a new phone, you want it to be faster in every single way. And I think the most notable one was that iPod Touch 7 generation one, which I think the iPod Touch has the Apple A10 Fusion chip or something like that, which isn't the fastest device. It's not even the newest chipset. And that was faster than a lot of my newer phones, I think including my iPhone 10. I don't remember, I believe my iPhone 10R as well. And that's a pretty crazy thing. I don't know what it is with Apple devices, with the older devices being faster than some of the newer ones. And I just want to kind of prep that all up by saying this isn't the first time it's happening, and this isn't going to be the last time it's happening. And I'm not even saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just kind of just putting it out there. There's definitely good things about it, and there's definitely bad things about it. And when I did my iPhone 7 Plus comparison between the 11 Pro, I noticed that my 7 Plus beat it a couple times in some app opening tests. And I'm not going to sit here and say it was the greatest, beating. It wasn't like it was beating it by like multiple seconds. It was just a little bit faster. I will say for respect to the 11 Pro, it wasn't completely, the smoothest experience on the 7 Plus, but when we're looking at app opening speeds, that was definitely something interesting. And I think I've shown you a couple times when the 7 Plus was faster. Now the 11 Pro is better in every single way. You have the extra gigabyte of RAM, you have the newer Apple A13 Bionic chip, you have so many newer things with the iPhone 11 Pro that the iPhone 7 Plus is not even like, it's not even like in the same league in my opinion, or so I thought. When I did that comparison, the 7 Plus was beating it a couple times, but then the times where the 11 Pro beat it, it wasn't even that big of a difference. It was a very small amount of difference between them, The 11 Pro was pretty much beating it by like a couple frames here and there. There was maybe one time or two times where it beat it by like a little bit longer than I thought, but overall, I was pretty shocked about how fast the iPhone 7 Plus was. That phone came out in 2016. It's not the newest phone anymore. Apple's not even selling it anymore. Of course, it's still being supported, but that is a pretty crazy thing. We should expect with every generation, the fastest phone, being it the fastest, being this and that. But dude, in my opinion, I just didn't see that big of a difference. And I think this goes a lot hand in hand. If you guys don't know, if you didn't watch that video I did prior to this, I recently just switched back to the iPhone 10. And if the iPhone 11 Pro was the craziest, fastest device in the world, and I'm still keeping my 11 Pro, mind you, I'm not like returning it or selling it, I'm still keeping my iPhone 11 Pro, and I find it to be a super crazy intensive thing that the 7 Plus, an older generation phone, can still be even somewhat in the same league as a phone that just came out in 2019. Of course, the 11 Pro is a better phone, it's faster this or that, but like I stated before, with the 6s Plus being faster than I think the iPhone 10 and the 10R, then the iPod Touch 7 being faster, and the iPhone 6s being faster than the newer phones, I definitely see how this could be a bad thing for the newer phones, but it's also kind of a good thing for the older phones that they're still keeping up with, the newer devices. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, this is why I really love iOS. The older devices don't get slowed down and bogged down as much as, something like an Android device. I'll give you an example. As I've stated before, the Samsung Galaxy S7 came out about the same time as the iPhone 6s. And my S7 is super slow, it's super laggy to do anything with it, but my iPhone 6s can still hold its own, and that's definitely something to keep in mind, moving forward. Hopefully Android can kind of catch up with there, but with iOS, like I stated, it's a good thing. These phones are still keeping up, they're still, able to be as fast as the newer phones, but it's also a bad thing for the newer phones because what are you paying for when you're going to upgrade? I can get an iPhone 7 Plus for like a couple $100, probably like $250-$300. But the iPhone 11 Pro, you're paying over $1,000 for it. So what are you spending your money on? You know what I mean? If it's not better performance, if it's not, that much better of a build quality than even an iPhone 10, what are you spending your money on when you're upgrading? You know what I mean? So, and I really hope it's not just all about the camera. So, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little thing I wanted to say. If you have any questions, or if you agree with me, disagree with me, if you've seen something different, let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it would mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.